7 episodes. It only took 7 episodes. I have to really laugh at this, but I think some of these networks are figuring out you can't do these shows anymore the way that they've been doing. Hollywood has been doing them. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share this video. Go up and hit the notification bell, switch it to all, and you'll get all of our notifications here on CutieCast TV and Man with the Show. If I seem to be a little a little bit, my executive producer, Baby J, you know him. You've seen sometimes his face on the screen a couple of times. He's not doing too well this week. He's a little under the weather, and I've been helping him get along on this. I've got some medication for him, so we're trying to take care of him on that. And hope you guys do send some well wishes to him for a speedy recovery. But let's get into this. I just received this. A couple of people have been sending me this, and we confirmed it. By the time this airs, everyone will have heard it by now. You're all, if you've been under a rock, the Hulu and FX had contracted for the adaptation of the graphic novel Y the Last Man, and which was created by Brian K. Vaughan. It was a great comic at the time, and it was being adapted to television. And I had my issues on it, and I've been talking about ever since they announced it years ago that this was going to happen. At the time, there was no network pulled in on that, but an adaptation was coming. I had my issues then, and I still had my issues right before it aired when the trailer hit. And when the trailer hit, it wasn't that good. And you could see what they've done. I mean, it is just a horrible misrepresentation. I mean, this project has been plagued with a lot of issues. A lot of people have departed the project from the original crew of people that started with this project. There have been changes on the showrunners and stuff like that. Then they finally got to it, and the way it looked and the way they were tampering it was Y the Last Man starring Diane Lane. Right off the bat, there's the problem. The series is called Y the Last Man, and it centers on Y the Last Man. If you're not familiar with the main storyline is, it's about a pandemic that wipes out pretty much every species with a male chromosome in it. In other words, every male from every species from the top of the food chain to the bottom of the food chain was eliminated. But there were 2 survivors, one human male and a primate monkey. I forgot what species it is, but one of those little rhesus monkeys. And the main character is named Yorick. He's an artist on that. He's going around with his monkey pal, going out trying to survive this pandemic. And the way they put this series is what all of us, I mean, you can ask any YouTuber from Heel versus Babyface all the way straight down to Nerdrotic, and they would have told you the same. This was going to be woke. This was going to be pandering into the whole situation. I mean, here's the perfect example. Let me take off the exact statement from the people on the production. We have learned that we will not be moving forward with the FX on Hulu for season 2 of Y the Last Man. I have never in my life been more committed to a story that there's so much more left to tell. Y the Last Man is about gender and how oppressive systems inform identity. See where we're going so far. We had gender diverse brilliant teams of artists led by by women at most every corner of our production. Producers, writers, directors, cinematographers, production designs, costumes, designs, stunt coordination, and more. It is the most collaborative, creative, fulfilling, and the most beautiful thing I've ever been part of. We don't want it to end. FX has been an amazing partner. We have loved working with them, and we're sad that Why the Last Man is not going forward at FX on Hulu, but we know someone else is going to be very lucky to have this team and this story. I have never experienced a remarkable solidarity with this many talented people. We are committed to finding the Why's next home. See what was put in there? You go back and diverse. The drilling, diversity, identity, diversity, gender. This is a story. And it needed to be told properly. Not in a movie. It would, because the way the story goes, it was better to be done by television. But understand this. And this is why we have a video down the line talking about DC fandom and how my distaste for it. This is what they're pandering out to you, the viewers. They think all of you out there are idiots. And that's why they're bringing this white flag. They said, we've broken the glass ceiling. We've finally broken the glass ceiling. Glass ceiling has been broken for decades. Especially in Hollywood. People don't read history. This is why also they're trying to erase history behind by projects and stuff like that. All these reboots and everything like that. And I said, this is Hays Code 2.0. Because they want to put this in, that in, change this character, that character. I mean, we are hearing stories now. And I said this right, and I know I was right about this. And I said I'm right. That we're hearing stories out of the Dune production that the director was told that he needed to change characters or the studio would do it for him. I said this, and this is why I keep saying, even though J. Michael Straczynski has Babylon 5, he's not going to have full control of the project. Not like he did before. It doesn't matter what he says. I hope he does, but it doesn't matter what he says. It's still going to be Warner and CW on the helm. They're going to be in the seat, and they're going to tell him what to do. I would not be surprised if he walks away. And I tell you, J. Michael, walk away from this. Do me a favor, walk away from this. Don't even do it. You could see with Why the Last Man, why this was not going to work. There's another series delayed right now that was supposed to have started out, and I spoke to a couple people in the chat room that are on that side of the world that already saw it and mentioned that it was pretty good, and that is World's End Harem. World's End Harem has a similar plot line to Why the Last Man. It's a little bit more explicit, sexually explicit. Yes, it's probably going to have a lot of nudity in it. It's probably the situation, but the story is the same, and the stories are similar. But they got it a little bit more exact on the Japanese anime version. If you haven't seen this, pick up the manga. I read the first book of the manga. It is a good storyline, even though that it is a little bit explicit. Expect that it's going to be. But then again, something to this nature, you would expect that those issues to be happening in stories like this. And I hope they're not changing it and this is why the delay is. That would be wrong. But getting back to Why the Last Man, these are the issues we keep pounding and pounding and pounding at you and telling you these situations. And there are those out there that says, oh, look, they're crazy. These YouTubers are crazy. Stuff like that. But we prove them right every time. We said our issues that we've been having with the entire comic book industry. with what's happening with Doctor Who, with Star Wars, Star Trek, television on the TV series Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Stargirl. You know, Superman and Lois is the only show, and we're still wondering why that situation, and it might change on season 2, because we've seen this before. Season 1 goes great, and season 2 and 3 is garbage. Because this is the politics that they push, the activism. Stop hiring gender study students, plain and simple. Stop hiring these activists. You've seen what Netflix did this past week. They let somebody go who was did not like the Chappelle comedy special, and they decided to leak information and lead a walkout. I mean, most people said, "Oh, look, they fired him for the walkout." No, they fired him because they leaked information. NDA, violated an NDA. For what? Stupidity. So what? He made $24 million. Good for him. Better than what he's been dealt with for the years, the pain that Comedy Central put on Chappelle. On a lot of stuff that I don't agree on Netflix, including the Cuties the Cuties movie that I don't agree on there, and then lately not liking the direction of Big Mouth. But I can say at least Netflix did right with Chappelle this time around, for now. And to George Takei, who thought he saw the whole thing, George, you better go see this before you open your mouth. Honestly. In final, I've said this before and I will say this again. And I hate to say, and the thing about it is I don't like it because I don't like people losing jobs, but we've gotten to a point that these companies don't even care about their employees anyway. So what the hell? Don't watch this stuff. And they did with Why the Last Man. Don't pay for these streaming sites. Look for it free. Go to the high seas if you have to. Buy it used. Stay away from all these networks. Show them what you want to do. And those of you out there who are on YouTube, my fellow YouTubers, production people on Odyssey, and also on BitChute, if you got plans out there to make some sort of project, something that you've written up that you think is good, go ahead and do it. Go right ahead and do it. If we were financially stable here, I would offer to help produce any of these stuff. If you have a project out there, and it's good, and you need a platform to show it at, we can talk. Information is below in the description if you want to get in touch with Cuticast TV. Because we got to show over Hollywood that basically you need to respect your customers. You need to respect the fandom. You need to respect the people who pay to see your stuff, who goes and buys the products that you advertise on your programs. Don't support this type of crap. When they tell you we're making it diverse, we're making it for the modern era, radical reinterpretation. You know what that spells? Activism. These are activists. And what they're doing is they're protesting for the things that they don't like. Don't put it in our movies, TV series, sports, novels, comic books. Don't put it in any. Keep it away. So, looks like this is the end of Why the Last Man. If someone else is stupid enough to buy the season 2, good luck with that as well. We've reached this part of the video. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share this video. Don't forget to check out Saturday Pre-Flight every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, on your local social media platform, BitChute, YouTube, and Odyssey. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and stay strong, and bye-bye now.